Hello everyone, it is tutorial time. It should be Tutorial Tuesday, but it's a Wednesday today. And today the song we're going to look at is Days, the Kinks recording written by Ray Davies in 1968, and there was a follow-up recording in 1989. Now Ray Davies and the Kinks version was in D, which is the key we're doing it in today. The follow-up version by Kirsty MacColl was in the key of A. So if you want it in the key of A to suit your singing voice, you know what to do. Draw out your trusty circle of fifths and transpose away. But we're doing it in D. It's nothing difficult about the accompaniment of this song at all. They're all plain chords. They're all plain primary triad major chords with the exception of a couple of sevenths, which we'll come to in due course. But for the most part, it's a characteristic of this song that you're playing all plain chords, and you can play them all down in the first position around the first 3 or 4 frets until you get to the end. But again, we'll come to that. So it's the rhythm of the song that's important, and the rhythm is very much plain up and down march time. You're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And the only offbeat you're working on that quick down up on the semiquaver. But so that's the characteristic of the song, and it does that right the way through. It's right on the beat, and the vocal hardly varies from the beat either. Okay. The characteristic thing about this song from a ukulele player's point of view is the quick chord changes, and that's what's going to test your mettle. It's all right to go from say D to G. When we get to the second refrain, where you're going from B flat to F, we'll come to that in a moment. But anyway, it starts, the introduction is just on a plain D chord, strummed, like that, for as long as you want. Thank you for the days, those endless days, those sacred days you gave me. Okay, now you see the structure of it and how it works. It's just playing on the beat, and then that bum 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 bum. They keep carrying on. I won't forget a single day, believe me. And then we're going up into G. I bless the light, I bless the light that shines on you. So we're going from a D to a G and back, and then we're going from a and then a G, and so you've got those quick 1 beat chord changes right the way through. And so that's all you get. You've just got those 3 chords for the introduction and for the first verse, D, A and G. And then it suddenly migrates into F. So from D we're going to F, and to get to the F it starts via a B flat. So from the D you've got to get to your B flat, and from your B flat you're going to your F. So if you play the 4-string bar for the B flat, you're making life difficult for yourself to get to the F. So this is one instance where I do play just the half bar, the index finger flattened across the first 2 strings. So like that. And then I can just lift my index finger off the first string and leave it on the second. So rather than flattening it, I just lift the knuckle and then to the F. So B flat, F, and then they go into a C. Okay, so standing by to go from an F to a C, which is something you're very well accustomed to, but maybe not as quickly as that. So that second passage, it goes, days I'll remember all my life, days when you can't see wrong from right. Now that's fine, because that's 2 and 4 beats. Then we get into the second bit, and it's, you took my life. Okay, there's 2 beats there. And then it goes, but then I knew that very soon you'd leave me. But it's alright, now I'm not frightened of this world, believe me. So, quick chord changes from F to B flat. So that's the second refrain. And then we get into a little bridge passage, which goes to an A. I wish today, and then to an A7, and that's the only 7th you'll find in the whole song, that A7th. And it actually points up the fact that, I've seen on Facebook threads people saying, how do you play the E chord? It's difficult. And other people will reply, I always play E7 for E, it works. And I want to take out my trusty shotgun because it doesn't work. It works some of the time, but you need to know when. And this A to A7th points up exactly the difference between the 2 chords. You can hear it very much on my low G tenor, A to A7, and you can hear it on Pam's high G soprano. You hear the difference between a plain A major chord and an A7th chord. And so that this little refrain here just points it up, this bridge passage, which goes 1, 2, 3. I wish today could be tomorrow. The night is dark, it just brings sorrow, let it wait. Okay, we've gone from D into D minor for this little bridge. So we're today would be tomorrow, and then at the last line we have quick changes from D minor to C to B flat, and then to A. And again, so I've always find that if you're playing your B flat either way with a bar, you can just slide it down. Or if you're playing your B flat with a half bar. But either way, whatever works for you. So with going from the B flat back to the A, then you're resolving into the key of D major. Thank you. That's where an A7 pops in. Thank you for the days. Then you're back to the resolution, and then you're back to repeats of the first couple of stanzas. So you've got D to A and G to D, so we've got those D, A and G 3 chords. Then we're going into B flat, F and C, those 3 chords, and that's fine. That's a repeat of what's gone before, until we get down to just a little interlude, which is the word days sung quite elongated over an A chord. And the melody over the A chord does this. Days. Now, you can replicate that on your trusty uke. If I do it on my low G, it sounds one way. If Pam does it on her high G, it sounds the other way. The way to achieve this is to flatten your index finger across the 3rd and 4th strings at the 1st fret, and then drop your middle finger onto the 2nd fret of the 4th string. There's your A chord. Now you need to drop your ring finger onto the 3rd fret of the 4th string, and then take it off, and then take your middle finger off and put it then put it back on again. It just does that round twice. So dum. That's what it sounds like on a low G, on a high G. Okay, so that's something to look out for. You need to anticipate that rather than playing a plain A chord, you're going to have to flatten your index finger across strings 3 and 4. So now Pam was just playing with a single down strum on each of those. I was playing it with a down up. So
because I always try to do something different to you.
Yep.
When we're playing together.
Yes, indeed, which is a sovereign golden rule. Do something different. And that's about it, really. That's pretty much all there is to the song, apart from the coda. Now, I must confess that I'm cheating a bit.
No.
Yes, just to make this easier to follow for ukulele players. Because what the recording does is slightly different but nearly the same, if you see what I mean. And the way we do this, it's a long elongated singing of the word days on the D note. Days! As long as you like. But what the accompaniment is doing, it's building to a climax before it to an A, before it resolves to the final D. And it builds like this. It starts on a D chord, 2-2-2-0, and then you just slide that D shape, whether you're doing it with those three or however you're playing the D, and then you just slide that up a semitone at a time, 2 beats at a time.
So you're now on the 3rd fret.
So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And you keep going until you get to the 9th fret. Because if you play that D shape on the 9th fret, what you get is another voicing of an A chord. And then from an A chord, we have to resolve to a D chord to finish, and you can put your D chord wherever you like. Pam's going to do it there.
So that's bar the 2nd fret and little finger on the 5th
Yeah,
fret.
2-2-2-5. And I'll probably do it 7-6-5-5 with a half bar with my index finger. So just to put all that together, it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. And that's pretty much all there is to it. It's a very clever song, and there's a lot of simple things about it, but that's one of the things that makes it so good. It's building on simplicity. Well, that's about it, isn't it?
It is.
Yep.
It's a brilliant chord change exercise. And to get those fast chord changes, that's what you have to keep doing, is go B flat F, B flat F, over and over again, like we used to do in class.
And don't forget to sing.
No.
And if anybody is good at vocal harmony, there's a lot of scope. Because you're working on plain major chords, the harmonies can become quite interesting. So if you're into vocal harmony, then you can do a lot with this. Well, that's about it. We'll have a play-along version of this out on Sunday. Before that, we'll be doing our comic song on Friday, our Friday fun. And we'll have another tutorial next week. And more of the same for as long as we can, until we run out of songs. Right, that's all from us for today.
Yeah.
So until we meet again, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and be nice to each other. It's bye-bye from us.